Hey folks, in this video I'm going to teach you a few basic things about working with layers. When you have a layer, that layer is in one of your maps. We said you might have multiple maps. You can see your maps in our catalog here. For example, I have two maps, block groups and communities. You can rename those maps here, delete those here. But if you want to, for example, do some tasks on a layer, you click on that layer, and all of a sudden you can see that your tabs change. And you have now 3 more tabs that are specific. I think you can see that orange color over there, which is independent from this orange color. Let's go just do that here. Yeah. So you can see that those tabs are highlighted because those will give you some options to change things for this layer. For example, on appearance tab, you can have transparency. You can say how this layer, if it is transparent, can blend with other layers. You can have a flicker on and off for this tab. For example, like that, or you can swipe it like that. These are some simple things, or you can have a display filter for this map, or you can go to the labeling tab, and in the labeling tab you can say I want to label certain things in this map. For example, I use the borough CD community district ID, which is an ID that has the borough code first and the community district after that. And then you can say I want to label those IDs, so you can say label that using that key, and now you can see that these are your the first digit is the borough ID. As you can see, we have 5 boroughs, and then the digits on the right, they are the community district IDs. So we can add labels. If you want to add labels, you have some all the settings about labels on this tab. That's how you can manage a properties for one layer. Again, about this layer, you can do certain things. For example, you can, if you click on it, we can go to symbology, and now we can, in symbology, we can say I want to present this. Let's go to the block group here. You can say in symbology I want to present my layer with a single symbol. You can have different colors for that, or you can have you can go to properties and change fill color and outline color for that specific one. Or you can say I want to present this layer based on some graduated color setup. We will learn about these things, and you can say, for example, show things based on median housing value, and then your map gonna change for that. So these are some symbology. What do I wanted to say? Symbology, all the settings about symbology of this layer is in this window, and again you have a lot of settings here. What else here? You can go to properties of this layer. If you right click on it, go to properties of this layer, and you can see you have a lot of information about that layer here, including the name. This name is just a label here, and we can change this label here, and that I'm going to show you something here. If I use this name, block groups, this year to that year, that's how the census data, community survey data is working. We change that. I'm gonna come back to that name later. The metadata, if we have some metadata, who created this, who generated that. Sources are very important. The source data, the source tab here is very important because you can see the address of that layer on your machine. You can, if you lose that address, you can set data source and reconnect to that to the address. You can see the extent of your layer. The important information here is the special references, coordinate systems, and you can see what the projected coordinate system is, also what the datum is. So you can see that this is, for example, NAD 1983, and has a conical projection system. There are other things here in terms of how specific things about displaying things, more advanced things. We have about joins. If you want to add a join table to this, we're gonna learn a lot about these things later. Another important tab here is the definition query that I'm gonna record some more videos on that. But for now, I want you to learn that you can go to properties of that layer and see some information about that layer. There are other things in this right click menu. Zoom to layer is a very useful one. You might happen to just lose your data, you don't know where it is. Always you can right click on that data and say zoom to layer, and that goes to that. The other things here, again on right click, you can remove that layer. If you had some layers that have some relationship, or they are in one category, you can group them. That's good for managing, turning them on and off. You can open the attribute table of that layer here, and you can see the columns, which are the attributes and properties. In this layer here in the attribute table, you can see the number of rows, and the other interesting things here, let me see, you can also see the labeling properties of this layer, symbology if you wanted. That takes you to the same window. Data is, I'm going to teach that in a separate video, and if you wanted to edit the metadata, you can do it here. So these are some interesting things. Another interesting thing is that you can copy this layer here, and then you can paste it here. Not gonna duplicate this layer, but in the new one, you can go ahead and change the name. You can also change the way you are presenting these layers, like something like that, which is really not a good color, so I'm going to just say something like that. So let's close this window. You have this layer and that layer, so copying and pasting a layer would be good. You can copy and paste one layer from one map to another container, a different map, and you can say, okay, paste that here for me. So this way you can simply move your layers from one map to another map. Very helpful tip here. These are some basic things, I guess. That's good enough for now. I'll teach other things